Joining me in the Informer's studio, Alex Caiafa to talk AFL football. Where do we start? Where's the grand final going to be played this year? Do we know?
No one knows yet. Queensland have put a bid in. WA have appeared to put a bid in now. And South Australia are making a case as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Could you imagine, right, just humour me for a moment, South Australia wins and the beginning of the year, Daniel Andrews said, why would you go to South Australia to watch the final?
That'd be interesting.
The meme that would come out of that. Okay, what are we to make of the football? The last game of the round was played last night, and what a game it was. I don't like draws, but it finished. What was it? 73 apiece.
Yeah, 73 all. To me personally, watching the game, it felt like a draw was the right result. I don't think.
No.
We don't like seeing draws, but it sort of felt that way. It felt like a real arm wrestle. Gold Coast started off really well, and then Essendon worked themselves right back into it, and probably had chances to pinch it.
So what did you learn about the two sides?
I think Gold Coast are definitely on the improve. Essendon had a few outs, so you can make a case for that. But yeah.
All right. Let's go to the very first game of the round, and it was a cracker. And everyone to this day is saying that's the highlight match of the year thus far. This very complicated COVID 2020 season, and it pitted the team that everyone is saying could be the real deal, Port Adelaide, against Richmond, the reigning premiers. What did you make of this game?
Yeah, cracking game. It was just super competitive. It was really hot. Both teams playing at a real frantic pace as well, just up and down the ground. It was really good stuff. It took until the last quarter for Port Adelaide to really just put their foot on the pedal, and they just ran away with it in the end.
The side that ran away with the next contest between the Lions and the Bulldogs was the Lions. Yeah. They just continued to play good footy.
The Lions, they're just trotting along nicely. Had a bit of a scare with Charlie Cameron and his knee towards the end, but that appears to be...
Bulldogs?
Appears to be... Yeah.
They look sometimes terrific, and then when certain sides match them for certain things, they can't break through.
In patches in this game, they actually didn't look too bad, but Brisbane are just a bit of a formidable outfit.
You and I were very keen to see how Carlton would go against the Eagles early on. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, really promising in that first half. I think a lot of Carlton supporters, myself included, would have been very surprised at how well they were actually playing. And then
our young ruckman.
Yeah, Tom De Koning, he's going to be something, that's for sure, if he can just stay out on the park.
Did the coach make a misstep when he changed him?
Yeah, so in the third quarter, after Carlton kicked their first goal, they moved Pitternet back in the ruck, and Pitternet unfortunately wasn't having a great game against Nick Nat, and then once Nick Nat started getting on top in the midfield, that was it. That lead was gone before you knew it, and
then the crowd got into it,
and they just flexed their muscle.
All right, let's move on. Hey, the Demons, they're not in the snowfields because you know what? They're closed. Yeah. So they got on with the football and they thumped the opposition.
Yeah.
They thumped North Melbourne. Again, North Melbourne going through a really bad patch.
Yeah, I think they're looking towards the future now. Reece Shaw's made that pretty clear after that last game.
Rebuild,
so it's rebuild now mode for them.
Okay. So Demons looking good. Again, their coach was under pressure for 3 or 4 weeks. Has he answered the call?
Yeah,
or is it just...
They've responded, but I mean, you've got to take it with a bit of context as well. As it is North Melbourne, they're not really playing that poor, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and they did it very well.
One team that has really given their fans a huge thrill this year has been St Kilda. Yeah? But they ran into a Geelong Cats side, which was mean and wanted to scratch and play some really good football.
Yeah, they were firing on all cylinders. They got on top in almost every aspect of the ground. They just worked harder. They were just in for it.
And that giant Tom Hawkins just...
Yeah, he flexed his muscle big time.
Wow. No, it was pretty impressive. And when you see them kicking goals from 50 on a regular basis, and they got some bombers there, haven't they?
Yeah, for
sure. You thought it was going to be one-way traffic. The game that surprised me was the Dockers against the side that made Carlton look pretty ordinary, the Hawks. What did you make of this?
Freo are exciting. They're playing with some confidence, which they're a young team, but
with a young coach.
But once you play with some confidence, you really keep going, and they're using that home ground advantage.
So what happened to the Crows? Why didn't they, take the example of the Dockers and go at Collingwood?
Yeah, I think it's just been two different
Bridge
tales
too
at
far,
the moment. Yeah.
Why am I so unkind to all those people? Suns, and we've touched on that, Suns and Essendon last night. Okay, the results now. What do they suggest for this week? What are we looking at this week?
Well, we've got Sydney and GWS, the Battle of the Bridge, but that's played in Perth. Funny enough, which is interesting as well in itself.
Hey,
Strange
it's
times.
AFL.
Strange times.
It's Australian Foreign League.
Yeah.
They go anywhere and everywhere. You like that? Okay.
GWS should get it done pretty comfortably.
Okay. The Cats up against Port Adelaide. And where is this played?
That's being played at Metricon.
Okay. So
in Queensland. So,
it's being played at Metricon. So who are you thinking?
Oh, it's this. You could make a case for both teams. They're both playing really good football at the moment. I'm going Port Adelaide. I think they've proven that they beat Richmond last week. They've looked quite good. But then there's that case for Geelong. They're coming off a good win too.
North and the Lions.
Oh, the Lions should get that done pretty comfortably.
Based on form.
Would have thought based on form.
Okay. Now here's a question for you. The Demons can get really angry and play some really solid football, but can they beat Collingwood?
They can. This game's all going to be very dependent as well on who's out for Collingwood. If they get the likes of Scott Pendlebury and Hoskin Elliott and guys like that back, I think Collingwood just get the edge.
Okay. The exciting Dockers that you just talked about a moment ago are up against our Navy Blues.
Well, the funny thing is, Freo are exciting, but Carlton have actually been playing some good football too. They're just really struggling to hold on to leads. I think if they can do that this week against the Dockers, I'm tipping Carlton. They showed last year.
You're tipping Carlton.
I'm tipping Carlton.
I'm almost shocked to hear you say that. Western Bulldogs and the Crows.
Yeah, Bulldogs should get that done reasonably
St Kilda
comfortable.
and Essendon. Now, this will be very interesting. Have St Kilda been wounded, or was it just an off day? And can they come back against an Essendon side that is wanting to really stake a claim at being a titles side?
Yeah, I think St Kilda can come back. St Kilda do have a big out though in Jade Gresham, who could potentially miss the rest of the season with a stress fracture in his back. So that's a bit of a loss. But I think St Kilda still have enough there to.
And where do the Eagles play the Hawks? Where are the Eagles playing the Hawks?
They're playing at Optus Stadium.
Okay.
So they're pretty formidable at Optus Stadium. Are the Eagles? We've seen that from.
And last but not least, the team that you love to watch, the Gold Coast Suns, up against the champs, the Tigers.
I think based on, even though Gold Coast has been playing well, you just can't go past Richmond. They're a formidable outfit still.
Okay. If you're basing your tips on what Alex and I tell you, good luck to you. Alex Caiafa, thank you for joining us, mate.
Thanks, George.